My cousin's idea of a joke nearly got me arrested at my own high school graduation, in front of 600 people. I was 17, and the whole thing started because I made the mistake of falling asleep in a room with him. My family had driven up the night before graduation and crammed into one hotel room to save money. My 12-year-old cousin, Deacon, was staying with us that weekend, and Deacon was the kind of kid who couldn't sit still for 30 seconds. I, on the other hand, sleep like I've been switched off at the wall. Once I'm out, a marching band could come through and I wouldn't stir. I'd learn later exactly how much of a problem that was. That night I crashed hard around 11, phone on the nightstand, still logged into everything. Deacon was wide awake, bored, and holding a device connected to my entire life. I woke up the next morning with no idea anything was wrong. We got to the auditorium early. I lined up in my gown, found my spot in the alphabet, and waited for my name. Everything was normal, right up until 2 school security officers and an actual police officer came down the aisle and quietly asked me to step out of line. My stomach dropped. I followed them into the hallway, where they asked me to confirm my name. Then they asked why I'd posted threats about the ceremony online that morning. I genuinely thought I'd misheard them. I told them I hadn't posted anything, that I'd been asleep until an hour ago, that I didn't even understand the question. One of them showed me screenshots from my own account, messages saying something was going to happen at graduation, tagged with the school's name, posted at 12:40 in the morning. My name, my photo, my profile. My hands started shaking so badly I could barely hold my phone when they asked to see it. I unlocked it and handed it over. There they were in my sent history. The posts, a couple of edgy messages to people I didn't even recognize, all time-stamped in the middle of the night. Around 1 a.m. the phone had apparently died, because the activity just stopped. I kept saying it wasn't me, but I couldn't explain it, and I could hear how it sounded. The officer's face shifted from cautious to something harder. He told me that threats against a school were not something they could treat as a misunderstanding, and that they'd need to take me down to the station to sort it out. When he reached for his handcuffs, the hallway tilted. I was going to miss my own graduation in a squad car, and I hadn't done anything. That's when my mom, who'd been let through by the officers, pushed forward and said the thing that saved me. She told them Deacon had been up all night on my phone in the hotel room, that half the family had heard her yelling at him to put it down and go to sleep around midnight. She said if they checked the times, they'd see he had it, not me. The officer paused. He asked me who else had access to the phone overnight. I told him about my cousin. He asked my mom to call the hotel, and she did better than that. She pulled up our family group chat, where my aunt had actually texted a photo at 12:30 a.m. of Deacon buried under the covers on my phone with the caption, "This gremlin won't sleep," time-stamped, right in the window of the posts. They asked me to wait, and they made some calls. When they came back, everything had changed. The timestamps on the posts lined up exactly with the photo of Deacon on my phone. My screen time data backed it up. Whoever had typed those messages had done it while I was asleep 3 feet away, and there was proof. They found Deacon out in the lobby with my dad. When the officer crouched down and asked him gently whether he'd posted anything from my phone, Deacon burst into tears immediately. He said the older boys at his school dared each other to do it, that he thought it was funny, that he didn't think anyone would actually see it. He apologized over and over, snot and everything, saying he didn't want anyone to go to jail. It didn't erase the seriousness of it. The officer explained to my aunt and uncle that a threat against a school pulls real resources and can't just be waved off, even from a kid. Deacon ended up with a diversion program, mandatory counseling, and a long talk with a juvenile officer that scared him straight for years. But they cleared me. They actually walked me back to my spot in line, and I graduated that afternoon with my name read out clean, my hands still trembling under my gown. To this day, I don't sleep in a room with my phone unlocked. Not ever. Not for anyone.